आपने उनके बारे में सुना है. She is Shwetika Sachin, IAS officer and director of industries, trade and commerce. Please.
Until now, logistics was considered as a service sector in Goa. So if you go to GIDC, they would say that they cannot give you the industrial land, which forms about the 90% of the total land in the industrial estate, and only 10% of the remaining land, the utility, the service commercial land, they would give for logistics. So we are also, through our state logistic coordination committee, we have resolved that we will try to amend the GIDC Act suitably so as to at least earmark a certain percentage of the industrial land, like 20-30%, for logistics purposes. Recognizing the importance of logistics, the state is also contemplating setting up a multimodal logistics park under the Bharatmala scheme of the central government. Goa being a landlocked state, we always have a limitation of land. We also understand that for any logistic project to become economically viable, it has to be multimodally connected. So that is one of our challenges, and we are trying to address that. Also, it has already been widely spoken about that for the purpose of sea exports, for the infrastructure and the port, I think Mr. Manchu will further elaborate on that. So we are taking a lot of initiatives in that area as well, and the new Mopa airport coming will have a big air cargo handling facility and all the state-of-the-art infrastructure. We are also trying that we facilitate private logistic players to come. We are in talks with a lot of private players that we have gotten the opportunity to interact with. Then the second thing that comes is what is the government doing to facilitate interactions of industry again with the importers, or trying to take the right policy level initiatives. In the past 1 year, what we've tried to do is we've tried to interact with industry associations and try to understand the challenges and issues, and then trying to curate a policies to specifically address them. I have personally found that the problem statement now is in front of us with regards to either export related infrastructure. What are the requirements? What are the issues? And we are working on all of them.
And one of the main industries, the original industry from Goa, has been mining. So let's mine deep into the opportunities and the challenges that it has been facing. And then we come to those two very important supporting services, which is aviation and ports. Please. We have with us Mr. Amber Kimlo, who is a veteran stalwart, and the entire family has been into this for generations. You should be in a position to tell us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to all the panelists today. I don't know about veteran or stalwart, but yeah, I am where I am. I'll take a very brief moment of time because I think a lot of you, and most of you are from Goa, so the subject matter of mining is quite overtly, exhaustively discussed. So I'll just break up my talk into just 3 parts. One is just give a small historical perspective. Let's talk about exactly where mining was in terms of earnings at the time it was suspended, and a small idea a little bit about how things can be restarted, what kind of economic impact that would have in the short, medium term. So as most of you know, mining has been around for over half a century. Goa by nature, or rather by geography, is within India, but geologically is better placed to service minerally to the eastern part of Asia. Because of the low quality of its ore, companies over so many decades have invested in technology, marine infrastructure, other forms of infrastructure to remain competitive. Interestingly, over the period of time, even as His Excellency the Governor mentioned about the Russian model, the restrictive, closed economic practices of the 60s, 70s, Goa had no choice but to compete in the international market. So it was competing at a time at which other countries were far more free trade, we were far more restrictive, yet we competed, survived, and gained market share over that period of time. Then, of course, the 1991 economic liberalization. I'm going fast, but I want to make sure I can cover as much as possible. After the 1991 economic liberation, Number of incentives were brought in by the Indian government to enhance exports. Various schemes, and India has also realized that it is so evident now. Foreign exchange and competitive exports will be a huge lifeblood for the Indian economy. So we have many schemes, export-oriented units, income tax benefits, etc., that allow Goa to continue to be competitive as an iron ore export industry. That went on, the market share of the Goan mineral industry grew through the late 90s, throughout the early parts 2000 to 2010. And just the year before the suspension of the mineral sector in Goa, and this is, even when I look at it, it's such a startling statistic, the foreign exchange earning of the Goa mineral ore industry in 2010-11 was $3.8 billion. So the foreign exchange earning at the time of suspension was 17,200 crores. That gets closed. And then for 90 months, you don't have any of it. What even startles me further is that the direct and indirect number of people involved in that sector is approximately 300,000 people, which is a fifth of Goa's population. So a fifth of Goa's population was generating close to $40,000 of foreign exchange every year. I have a feeling that is the only other industry I can see that happening in India is probably the IT sector. And this is the mineral resource sector. So we went to show how exactly important this was, but at the same time, an immediate shutdown of something, you can only imagine the acute amount of impact that it's had. And it's been 90 months that is going on to. So, moving further, what happens is solutions have been given. To summarize the solution, because I know the topic of discussion is more about how to bring back the foreign exchange or increase the foreign exchange rather than give legal interpretations of what is solution or is not. But just since we have submitted this to the government, the state itself has taken the matter up with the union to say that now with the new Mines Act that the Prime Minister brought forward in 2015, where it is afforded 50 years tenure to all mining leases in the country, that the same should also naturally be extended to Goa. Goa has that unique problem of not having born on the same day as everybody else, but being born later, so there is a little bit of a mismatch. That can easily be addressed, and there are solutions that have been given. The most important thing is if that gets addressed sooner than later, what the industry knows for a fact is that within a period, just one more point, that foreign exchange earning is generated not in a 12-month cycle. It's generated in an 8-month cycle. So if you actually compound it, it's 25% more than that. Because we only do exports over an 8-month cycle period. So because of the monsoon that we have in Goa. So if you give the green signal for the industry to recommence mineral resource activity, you will immediately see a foreign exchange earning within the next 9 months at nothing less than $1.5 billion. And I caveat this, with absolutely no incentive or investment or support by the government. With just the freedom to do work under the confines of the statute. But at the same time, the reason we can do this is because most mineral companies in Goa have maintained all their assets, have maintained all their mines up to safety and environmental standards, and have maintained most of their teams. So the ability to restart that is not very hard. It just requires intent and clarity. And that's the situation we see ourselves in. And within a year, it will be $1.5 billion. Within 2 years, comfortably back to $3 billion under the present circumstances. So I'm sure that if the objective is enhancing foreign exchange, if the objective is economic resurgence, growth, I think our sector could contribute quite substantially. Thank you very much for your time.
That brings us to Captain Himanshu Shekhar to talk to us about what ports are doing and what are the challenges they face.
Chairman of the panel, my fellow panelists, good afternoon to all of you. I see that the doubling of exports is the main theme, and I will try to speak on that. But he has already spoken that if you start the mining operation, it automatically doubles. There is no efforts required from industry or from the port. So he has spoken that, but that is something we have to wait for it. Apart from the lower exports, what is the port doing to help the trade of the Goans to start exporting. So there are 2 or 3 things I would like to mention, what we have already achieved and few of the pipeline projects that are coming up. So we already have an existing infrastructure. As you know, marine infrastructure is a heavily capital intensive. To build a berth or to build a other marine facility, it takes a lot of money and they have to have a certain ROI. So we have already built those facilities. We already have a solid connectivity as far as the bulk and break bulk cargoes are concerned. In terms of container connectivity, also we were actually quite well connected to almost all the ports in the world with a weekly service. That has since been disrupted. And regarding that, a lot of financial incentives are being planned so that within foreseeable future, another operators can start. Maximum 1 or 2 months, we will start again. So that is about the challenges. Apart from that, there are 3 projects that are coming up. One of them is about an investment of 800 crores, a berth for midnight handling of iron ore. So we are also hopeful that the iron ore mining will restart, and that project will go on a PPP basis, and it has a capacity of 12 billion metric tons per annum. The second project is called the ONN outsourcing of berth number 10 and 11. So this berth number 10 and 11 are existing facilities from which we can handle steel and other bulk cargoes, break bulk cargoes and containers. So the current capacity of that terminal is 6 billion tons, but we have never achieved that. We have always remained in the range of 2.5 million tons. So to realize the full potential, we will invite private participation to bring in cranes, manpower, and efficient services, and we want to achieve a capacity of 6 million tons for containers as well as for break bulk cargoes. And the third project, which is mostly it's at a drawing board stage now, and it is being held up for CZMA, is called the Vasco Bay development. That involves additional berths as well as a fishing harbor, as well as a cold storage facility for processing the seafood export. So these are the 3 things that we're coming up with, and I would hope that mining also resumes soon and we achieve the target of doubling the exports from Goa, as well as non-mineral ore exports also. Our efforts to yield some results with the support of the industry and trade in Goa, so we would be able to double the non-mineral exports also. Thank you.
Thank you indeed, which we have repeatedly mentioned, but still there are some doubts that are being expressed. I'm making it clear today that even after commissioning of the Mopa airport, the WM airport, the civilian enclave, the WM airport will continue to function. That means Goa is the only place to have a unique status of having 2 airports in a very close proximity. Though we have mentioned this number of times, but still there are reports that are coming up inside certain quarters that will be closed, this will be closed. However, making it once again clear that government is not going to close the WM airport. That's the first. Now, how both these airports will function? So already both the Navy as well as the government of Goa along with the concessionaire have done the airspace segregation. There will be a separate air traffic control for WM airport. There will be a separate air traffic control for Mopa airport. There is this airspace segregation that has happened within a close proximity so that the flying from both the airport doesn't have any issues, conflicting issues. Now let me come back to the Mopa airport progress as such. Currently, while it has provision for 2 runways, currently there is one runway is already built. It has a parallel taxiway. The one runway has a capacity to handle around 30 million passengers per annum. Therefore, once the airport crosses 30 million passengers per annum, there is a provision where a second runway can be built. The runway is almost ready except for the last year. Taxiway is getting ready with the rapid exit provisions and other things. Airport ATC tower
air traffic control tower along with the technical building. Technical building is already handed over to Airport Authority of India because they have to man the ATC tower. ATC tower, except the glass facade, which has to the kind of a top portion, that is to happen. With the exteriors work to be done, it will be handed over by April 30th because by May, Airport Authority has to start installing the equipments. The passenger terminal building is a shell of 8 million passengers per annum. Now let me, before coming to PTP, let me slightly introduce to you how this airport is being developed in terms of phases, basically. The airport is being developed in 4 phases. The phase 1, that is, which we are going to inaugurate, will have 4.4 million passenger per annum capacity. Then someone may ask why this 4.4, from where this has all come up. Is that if both the airports have to function simultaneously, the pre-COVID figures of the WM airport was something around 9 million to 10 million passengers. So by the time Mopa is going to be inaugurated or commissioned this year, we assuming that we are back to the pre-COVID level of about 9 million or whatever it is. If Mopa airport can take 4.4, the WM airport still will have balance passenger traffic handle. Now, the phase 2 is something we call it as 5.8 million passenger per annum. Phase 3 is 9.4 million passengers per annum. Phase 4 is 13.1 million passengers per annum. Then there is no phase thereafter, while the airport has more than 35 million passengers per annum ultimate capacity. And we are very confident that the work is progressing very well. Every month, a physical progress of 6 to 7% is being achieved. 90% of earth cutting is completed. 70% of earth filling is completed. About 80% of the boundary wall construction is over. So we are on target that airport will be commissioned. Then come to the most important aspect of the cargo. I'm sure everybody is looking at the requirement of cargo, because I'm told that even the pharmaceutical production that is taking place here is getting shipped to Mumbai for the purpose of cargo. But I am assuring you that this won't happen. This airport will have sufficient facility, cargo terminal, including provision for a logistic park. And initially, while it will deal with the belly cargo facility, thereafter we will be having something around 10,000 metric ton facility. Then it will be gradually developed, and it has an ultimate potential of 150,000 metric ton facility at the Mopa airport. The cargo can handle.
May I now request Mr. Nabil Alfonso, the Director of Agriculture, and I seem to have special affinity for him because he has graduated from Agricultural College in Permani, and I belong to the same district. Great.
The chairman, the panelists, and the delegates, I won't take much of their time in this. We are in the beginning, we are the nation in this agri-export, and our Directorate of Agriculture, Government of Goa has designated Directorate of Agriculture as a nodal department for agri-export. And since last year, we have put our wheels in motion, and we have already formulated our agri-export policy. And from this year, we are going to implement it very seriously. The intention of the policy is to make Goa agri-export hub of the country, because we have got all the facilities right from airport. Our new airport is also coming, port trust is there, railways is there, road network is there, air network, everything we have got. And we have got a lot of potential if you see. But we have got some drawbacks also. The potential, we have got cashew crop, which we have got around 56,000 hectares of area. Most of it is by organic by default, because most of it is a forest produce. And we have got around 10,000 hectares which has been certified organic and which is being exported from here. And certified organic by third-party certification, we are getting another 5,000 hectares under under PGS system, participatory guarantee system, which may not qualify for export, but we can tag it as organic and sell it within the country. We have another potential. We have got a lot of potential in coconut, as our governor has rightly said. We have got 26,000 hectares of area, and the coconut is mostly around 40-50% of coconut. The 60% is being used for table purpose, because in Goa everybody uses coconut for their daily life. And we have got potential to export the value-added products like virgin coconut oil, even coconut oil, or grated coconut. There are many potential for that. As regard to another area where we can tap in for export purpose is our red kernel rice. We have got a red kernel rice, particularly and other varieties which come up very well in Goa, parboiled rice, which will also fetch a good price in the international market. And also we have got a unique system of Kazan land where we plant Korgut variety or local variety, we call it Goa Dhan, has been released by ICR recently. That has also got a potential for an export purpose. Jackfruit is another area which we can tap in, although we have got a small area of around 600 to 700 hectares of area, which is not gone into commercial cultivation. But we have stepped in, and nowadays we are promoting farmers to go in for jackfruit on commercial lines, and we have brought in new varieties also from Maharashtra, Kerala, and even our Horticulture Development Institute. And there also we are promoting jackfruit. Mango, as far as Mankuraj is concerned, is our unique variety, which is loved by Goans and throughout the world. That also we are targeting around 100 more hectare areas on commercial lines. Even mango is not on commercially grown in Goa. On commercial line we are going, and by another 3 or 4 years we will able to export Mankuraj mango also.
Very of great opportunity in Goa, and that's hospitality. And would be better than Mr. Raj D'Souza to enlighten us on that.
Mr. Chairman, fellow panelists, ladies and gentlemen, I'll confine to international tourism because we're dealing with exports here, although Goa has a huge share in domestic tourism as well. To start with, Goa has been positioned in the international market as a long-haul winter destination. This is where most European tourists come to thaw themselves out. Yes, it is a popular destination, and for the last quite a few decades, it's been classified as one of the most sought-after destinations. What are the things that attract the people to visit Goa? Goa is privileged because among the international visitors, we have 40% repeat clients. And this is the base of Goa's tourism, because 40% of 1 million on an average who visit Goa always frequent Goa. And what do they come for? Of course, whatever we might say that we market, they come here for winter sun. This is what they're looking for. And what is it that makes them such frequent visitors to Goa? There are 5 USPs which I have gathered from the visitors themselves in my 33 experience in this industry. One is because Goa is a beautiful natural destination. The nature is wonderful. Secondly, because of the warm waters of the Arabian Sea and the sandy beaches. There's water everywhere, but not all the waters you can swim into, most of them are cold. But here we have a combination of both, and that comes out of the way now. The next is the people of Goa. They find them nice and friendly, hospitable. Next would be that Goa was always considered as a clean and a safe destination. Of course, there were half a dozen cases of violence which made headlines everywhere. And there was splash in the international news as well. And that time I was one of those worst cases. I was the president of Travel and Tourism Association. So we were kept awake at nights by the international press trying to figure out what's happening. So we told them, well, this has happened, it shouldn't happen, and the guys caught it should be hanged. Can we quote? I said, sure, you quote me. And for further information they wanted, I said, see, this happened, as I told you, that shouldn't have happened, but we've got 1 million people who go back happy and safe. If you talk to them, probably they'll be more unbiased, according to you, because they'll be talking to neutral people. And they are the people who fought for Goa, our big clientele. And actually give the correct picture of what was happening and that saved Goa as an international destination. Next, what they come for are the mixed cultures and Goan cuisine, which is popular. And whoever, if you go to see worldwide, the most popular destinations are with mixed cultures, like the Eastern Mediterranean region would be one. Then parts of Eastern Europe, which have got a sort of a flavor of two different eras. They are the most interesting destinations as far as the visitors are concerned. And same thing they find with Goa. And besides this, we do have blessings from the good Lord. It is a beautiful place, by no doubt. We have been bestowed on natural beauty and the rivers, the sea, and the mountains. Of course, we have the sea, we have the beaches, then we have the hinterland, followed by the mountains and the wildlife sanctuaries. All this in just 3,000 square kilometers. If you want to go anywhere else, you got to travel for thousands of kilometers to get all these attractions in such a small that we have in such a small place. We are now poised for a change because tourism wants to move on. Tourism handles people very sensitive. Whatever strife or war or trouble that happens in the international markets, national scenario or in the state affects the inflow negatively. Our footsteps keep on decreasing in case of any such negative impacts. So we have to be very careful in whatever we do.